Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us, we've got something from Lionsteel. This is another one of their fixed blades. Earlier this week, you saw a review of the M4. This is the B41. This is the black G10 version. This is their Sleipner steel. Sleipner is, I really don't know that much about it, except that I know Lionsteel really likes it. My understanding is that it is modified D2 to be a little more rust and stain resistant. So you get a lot of the same really good edge retention and toughness features of D2 without worrying so much about rust. And that's good because this is a little oriented towards being an outdoors knife, like a field knife. And I say that because the other one that I had a little more belly, it had everything was crowned, it had no spot to hit a fire steel. This has a hard, like a rough flattened edge right here with a really nice edge on it. So if you needed to strike to make a fire, it's got a spot built in for it, which makes this a really excellent field duty knife. It has all of the same excellent features that the other one that I had out, the M4, but it's different enough that I thought it was worth a look. The handle is equally well done. The G10 on this is milled beautifully. It is very comfortable. Really, really comfortable. I wish it had a little jimping up through here for your thumb, but because they've crowned this so nicely, you don't really need it. It has more of a saber grind, as you can see. It has a longer flat than the M4 did. It still comes down to a very nice edge. The folks at Lionsteel produce really nice knives. This is no exception. Again, has a lanyard spot, which is really good for outdoor stuff. People like lanyards. I don't, but you might. Because this is held on by two what look like T10 screws, these are really big, you could swap these scales out for anything you wanted. I'd leave these on just as they are. It's very comfortable. It's a very neutral shaped handle, which allows for quick use, lots of versatility. It's really good for cutting. It comes with a very similar sheath. In fact, I think it's actually the same sheath that came with the M4. These are really nice. Now, that's interesting. Yeah, as you can see, it closes up very nicely. It's got a nice belt loop on the back. I don't leather sheath. If I was going to buy one of these or keep one of these, I'd replace it with Kydex, just because that has been my experience is that Kydex holds up better over time. You don't have to worry about it getting wet, lots of features like that. But they put a clear amount of effort into sending these out into the world with really nice sheaths, and I really like that about them. That is Lionsteel doing their best. And these are about 155, 160 bucks, same as the other one. It's a really reasonable, actually I think it's 140. Very reasonably priced for what you get. If you're looking for a outdoor tool, something that is going to hold up to the use you want to give it, these two, man, this last one from earlier in the week and this, the B41, really excellent blades from Lionsteel. I'm really thoroughly impressed. Now this one's a little bit bigger than the last one we had. As you can see, it's coming in, if we line it up, just shy of 9 inches, 8 3/4 overall. You get a slightly longer blade. The blade on this one is 3 3/4 of cutting on just over 4 inches of Sleipner steel. The handle itself, from just behind that little bump, is 4 full inches. And then out to this end, it's 4.5 inches. So it is a bigger knife, a little beefier, a little tougher feeling in hand, just because of the way that it's cut. This is really nice. And Lionsteel is, of course, made in Italy. That's something that's interesting to you. The grind on this is perfect. Flats are exactly the same on both sides. The grind all the way up the blade is even. You don't have any tall spots or short spots. They've done a really good job. I do like, again, that there's this ground off flat spot back here with an edge to it. You can hear that. For fire steels, which is a really nice touch. This is a great knife. Let's do some size comparisons. Let's see, let's put it up against another big knife. This is the Hogue X5, the full 4-inch monster. As you can see, the Hogue is bigger. But you get, if we line that up, yep, just exactly the same amount of cutting edge, right? The Hogue is bigger because of the handle. So you do a really nice line of cutting with this knife. Here it is against the Para 3. This happens to be the M4 edition. And as you can see, well, you know. Now, look, I know it's a little silly to do size comparisons against folders with a fixed blade, but if you haven't held one of these, it is likely that you've held one of these or something very similar, which would help you understand how big that is in hand. And that's really what I'm after. It's not a direct comparison. You don't really compare fixed blades to folders. They're a completely different animal. But size-wise, I hope this makes sense to you. So that's what I've decided to do. I'm actually going to open up the other one again. Hang on a sec. Here's the M4. As you can see, the B41 here is considerably longer. Of the two, prefer the M4. I have big fixies that I use, 9, 10-inch blades, lots of, my JX5, for instance. For me, more versatile sort of EDC size / camp knife size has the features, particularly in the handle, that the M4 has. But don't let me steer you away from this thing. Again, there's no way to strike a firestone with this one, whereas with this one, you can do it fairly easily with the way this is at the pommel. I think that it really would fall down to a big chunk of personal taste, right? What is it that works for you, and what is it that you're looking for in a knife? If I didn't have a Chris Reeve Nyala, for instance, either one of these would be a fantastic addition to my outdoor and camp sort of knife gear. This one also comes in different colored scales. You can get it on Blade HQ and a whole bunch of other places in different colors. This one is, because of the Sleipner steel, I think, like I said, I think it's a little cheaper. It's in the 140s, 130, 140s, right around there, as opposed to 155 for the M4. But I'll tell you, you can go wrong with neither of these. If you are looking for a really good fixed blade, seriously give these your attention. Lionsteel has done something very nice. Now, they haven't reinvented the wheel. There are lots of these, but at the price point, with the way these things are featured, particularly if you're into leather sheaths, and they really did do right by you here, this is a really nice, complete package for an outdoor knife. I think it's great. And I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap it up. No, let's weigh it. Let's weigh it. We're going to do that. We're going to weigh it. Curious to see what it weighs out at. Now, on a fixed blade, that's a lot less important than it is on a folding knife, but people often, what if you're a backpacker, right? Every ounce counts. So this one comes in at 6.6 ounces, which is, again, full tang construction. It's a big, giant chunk of Sleipner steel. Sleipner? We're going to go with Sleipner. If I'm wrong, correct me down in the comments. Still, 6.6 ounces is not that heavy. With the sheath, 8.7, right? So we're coming up on a 10-ounce carry. Again, if you're a backpacker, these may not be the tools for you, but for everyday hiking, everyday outdoorsy stuff, that is a reasonable weight for an excellent knife. And that is where we're going to wrap it up. This is the Lionsteel B41. I do wish they'd named their knives. B41 sounds like I'm calling a bingo number. However, this is the B41. It is a really nice knife. These are available right now at Blade HQ. If you're looking for a good fixed blade, check this thing out. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask down in the comments below. And let me know, did you like the M4 or did you like the B41? Which one did you like better? Let me know down in the comments. You guys have a great day. Take care.